That's true. It's a time to mourn, right? And we've gotten so used to this fast-paced life that we don't know how to just sit. I was teaching the grandkids last week. You rip and run all week long. Learn how to sit and rest.
Yeah, it's a spirit of unrest. Christians they're not resting.
Now I want to go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Read verse 11 and 12.
And that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you, that ye may walk honestly toward them that are without, and that ye may have lack of nothing.
Read that again.
And that ye study to be quiet.
Study to be quiet.
And to do your own business.
And do your own business.
And to work with your own hands.
And work with your own hands.
As we commanded you. That ye may walk honestly toward them that are without. And that ye may have lack of nothing.
That you may have lack of nothing. So in other words, what's the moral of the story? 6 months is 12 months in a year, as the saying goes. 6 months to mind your own business, and 6 months to leave mine alone.
And verse 4 was a good verse as well.
Go ahead, read it.
That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification and honor.
Right.
Crucify that flesh. You got to learn to rule your own man, your own vessel.
The flesh is not going to want to do right. You got to make the decision to control your flesh, or otherwise your life is washed up.
Yeah, a lot of wrong decisions.
Don't allow your emotions to dictate to your mind what to do. Right? He that lives after the flesh, right, shall die. Oh, we didn't read that. As Romans 8 and 13. It was in my mind, but I thought it was almost as if I read it. See, I want to say is why she's getting that. People have to learn how to use the teachings of Shaul correctly. Because you can read something that Shaul said and it'll have you in disobedience if you read it wrong. Okay, here's something he said to do that's going to lead you right. Okay, go ahead. 12 and 13.
Therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, you shall die. But if you through the Spirit do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live.
See that? Read verse 14.
For as many as are led by the Spirit of Yah, they are the sons of Yah.
There you go. See that? So, you are not a debtor. You don't owe your flesh nothing. Make that, like what my Isha said, make that flesh, crucify that flesh. If we are going to be successful in helping the Most High to know that we have accepted our punishment, let's go to Leviticus 26. Start at verse 40. Leviticus 26 and 40.
If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, And also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land.
That's good. If their uncircumcised hearts be humble, and they accept the punishment. That's what the Most High said. If they accept, because we want to go home. We tired. Donald Trump, whoever's in office, Deuteronomy 28:68 is clear. He said, no man will be able to build you up, to buy you. The word for buy is to erect or to build up or to redeem you from this curse. Right? So the more we are slow, it amazes me how Israelites will use all kinds of excuses to be disobedient when it comes to simple things. I hear people say, oh, I'm still learning. That's just a shortcut way of saying I'm not willing to be obedient completely yet. I'm still learning. So we're tired of the circumstances and the situations that we're in, but we're not willing to do what we need to do to get us out of the situation, which goes beyond my imagination. I can't understand why we want different results, but yet we continue to do the same thing to get the same results that we don't want. I guess it goes back to the leaders are causing the people to err. The fathers, the Most High said in Exodus 20 that he would visit the iniquities, right, of the fathers upon the children to the third and the fourth generation of them that hate me, right? And showing mercy. That's when it stops. To thousands of them who love me and keep my commandments. And you want to stop the curse, stop disobeying, and start keeping the commandments. And you'll see a difference. Every time we go astray and we want to get away, we want to make excuses why we should be allowed. We'll let our hair down for this particular thing. That's when judgment comes in the house. I see it happen in my life all the time. Even though you know the Shabbat comes around and you trying to keep the Shabbat, that doorbell's going to ring, that phone's going to ring, somebody's going to have a need. Never fails. Don't happen on Sunday. It happens on the Shabbat. Ever since I've been in this walk, it always happens on the Shabbat. Get into a fight. Ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend want to get into a fight on the Shabbat. Always happens on the Shabbat. And I'll tell you something, right? Okay, we didn't read Yoshiyahu 19. I'll read it. Yah have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit.
For me, something that just came to mind, back to the leaders, which is preaching the message, for people to tithe and to sow a seed to get what they want. So, you got people under the impression that doing the work of the flesh is gonna give you or produce the things that you want, and it's just it's not necessarily true. Not true. What about obedience?
Right.
Why aren't you teaching obedience to His word instead of obedience to sowing a seed or doing something versus obedience to the Father?
Oh, look at this here. Look at Amos 2. We're gonna put the nail. We're gonna go a few more verses and we're gonna end. But since we're talking about the leaders, let's beat them up for a little bit. These pastors, let's beat them up. All right, because they're the ones that the sons and daughters of the pastors spiritually, they follow the footsteps of them lying, deceitful pastors. Right. So man, I want to say, give me a call. You pastors, send me an email. AskMalachiah@gmail.com. Send me an email, and I will give you my phone number, and I would like to talk to you personally. We could talk about this, right? All right. So, what I say, Amos 2, read verse 1 through 4.
Thus saith Yah, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burned the bones of the king of Edom into lime. But I will send up a fire upon Moab, and it shall devour the palaces of Kerioth, and Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting, and with the sound of the trumpet. And I will cut off the judge from the midst thereof, and will slay all the princes thereof with him, saith Yah. Thus saith Yah, for 3 transgressions of Judah, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the law of Yah, and have not kept his commandments, and their lies caused them to err after the which their fathers have walked.
Okay, read that verse again.
Just that verse.
4.
I will, thus saith Yah, for 3 transgressions of Judah, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have despised the law of Yah.
Despised the law of Yah.
And have not kept his commandments, and their lies caused them to err after the which their fathers have walked.
That's the spirit of the day. They have despised the law. We're not under the law, brother. We're under grace, brother. We're not under the law. We despise the law. You Christians that's watching me right now, look at my finger. You Christians watching me right now, that's you right there. You pastors that's teaching your people you're not under the law, that's you. He said right there, you despise the law of Yah, and you have not kept his commandments. And he said, and their lies cause them to err, because you're lying. Right? You leaders, stop lying. Conscientious stupidity. Stop lying. You know we will be under the law. We're always under the law. He said, I change not. That's what the Most High said. I change not. Isn't that what he said?
Yep.
I change not. For me to say you're not under the law is a change.
Any day you choose to worship is a change.
That is a lie. That's what he said. He said, and their lies cause them to err. Stop lying. Told a brother on Facebook, talking about going to heaven. Nobody going to heaven. Where's that at in the book? Find it. Find me the page. I will eat the page without salt.
10% tithe every week. Another lie.
Stop lying. to the people.